Anderson, and I'm a product specialist for J&P Cycles, and today we're going to show you a new product that we're carrying called KBS Tank Sealer. It comes in a kit. It's got a three-part process to it. It's basically three different chemicals. One is a cleaner that you put in the tank that'll work for, the tank that's slightly rusted inside, or, this one here happens to be pretty clean, but it basically cleans the tank and inside the tank so that the other products seal it properly. This can be used on older tanks, new tanks, whatever you have, and works really well. So the first step is to take the Aqua Clean, and what you want to do is you want to take your tank off your bike, you want to clean it all out the best you can. You want to tape up all of the openings except for one where you're going to pour your chemicals in and out of, and basically that's it. You get it all ready to go, let it dry. What we're going to do with this first process here is we're going to try to remove any varnish that's inside, anything inside the tank that we just don't want there. So basically this is a 1-to-1 mixture. So I took this Aqua Clean product here and I mixed it with 1 part water, and that's what you get there. I used just an empty milk jug, and all I'm going to do now is I'm going to pour that inside the tank. I'm going to, agitate it a bit, mix it around. I want to make sure that it gets in all the areas of the tank, cleans off any varnish that's in there. I'm going to let it soak for a while. If you have a very bad, rusted tank inside, they recommend that you put something in there to help loosen up the rust. The other thing you can do is let it soak for 24 hours. So this tank here is in really good condition. I don't think we'll need to let it soak for 24 hours, but I'll definitely leave it in there for a good 12 hours, and just to be sure that we got everything as clean as we can possibly get it. So yeah, step one is I'm going to pour this in here and just let it soak and shake it around and let it clean the inside of the tank. Okay, it's day 2 of our tank sealing project, and today what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use the rust blast. This is the second part in the process, the second step I should say. Yesterday we went ahead and we put the Aqua Clean in. I let that set in the tank for 12 hours, and then I cleaned the tank out really well, just using some water, and basically just got all that chemical out of the tank. Now the next step is to use the rust blast, and the rust blast, what it does is it basically is an etching chemical that will allow the sealer to seal to the tank. It's also good if there's a lot of rust in the tank. It would help remove that rust, but we don't have that problem with this particular tank. But if you do, either way, you still have to put this in the tank in order to get the sealer to adhere to the tank. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this product here. We're going to make sure we got all of our holes plugged up other than the top one, and we're going to pour that inside the tank, and then we're going to roll that around the tank for 30 minutes to an hour depending on the condition of your tank. I think 30 minutes will be fine on this one. And then once that's prepared, we'll dump that material out into a bucket and then dispose of it properly. It is a chemical. You don't want to put this out somewhere where it's going to hurt the environment. You want to dispose of it properly, and then what we'll do from there is we'll do the final step, which is sealing the tank. One thing that you will notice, possibly if you have a tank that has severe rust damage, you might notice some pinhole leaks in the tank after you use this product. If you do, what you want to do is you want to let the tank dry completely, and then you're going to use they recommend a new metal epoxy putty to seal those holes up before you do the final step. So you want to check and make sure that once you use this product, that it's totally dry before you start doing the epoxy if you have need for it. You want to check your seams because obviously that's where the tanks leak a lot. This particular bike, this tank is off the TL1000R, and they are notorious for leaking on the seam, and that is the situation with this tank. So this product though will resolve any issues so we can get it back on the road again. So what we're going to do now is just take the product here, pour it inside the tank. We'll agitate the tank, just roll the product around. You want to be careful with this product and try not to splash it around. Get it right in your tank there. And then roll it around in the tank for 30 minutes to an hour. Pretty much it. That's all you want to do is just kind of keep rolling it around. You do not want this product to dry in the tank. So you want to keep rolling it around, cover all the areas, but you definitely do not want it to dry inside the tank. Alright, it's day 3 of our tank sealing project. Yesterday what we did is we put in the rust blast and we let that work in the tank there, and we cleaned out the tank after we went through and used that product. We cleaned it out with water and got all that chemical out of the inside of the tank. Now the next step is to put the sealer in. One of the things that's very important when we're doing this step is to make sure that the tank is completely dry. If you're having trouble getting to all the areas of the tank to get all the water out of it, what you want to do, if you don't have the time to let it set, is you can take a exhaust hose off of a vacuum cleaner and put it inside and let it blow air throughout the tank to try to get all the crevices dry. You want to make sure though, before you do that, that your vacuum cleaner is not emitting any dust or anything when it's pushing out exhaust. You don't want anything that's going to go in the tank, so make sure that you use a clean filter on your vacuum cleaner. Anyway, so looking inside the tank, everything looks good now, and this step is the tank sealer. This stuff here is something that we definitely don't want to get on our hands. We don't want it to dry anywhere inside the tank. What we're going to do is we're going to first open the can up and we're going to mix it. They tell you to be sure not to create any air bubbles or anything. There's a silver pigment to the product, so what we want to do is we want to stir it kind of slowly, and as we're stirring we're going to pull the stick up slightly so that we're getting all of the stuff out from the bottom, mixed in thoroughly with the rest of the product so we can pour it into the tank. And as you can see, I don't know if you can see, but the product itself is a silver color. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to gently stir the product, and as we're stirring we're going to pull the stick upward and get it mixed up as best we can. As you can see, it's like it has like a watery oil. Right now what we want to do is we want to just move that stuff around. Try to get it in all the areas of the tank, especially where there's seams or welds or anything like that. So we're just going to spend some time here and work it around. And then once we get that part done, we'll drain it off and let it dry. We put the sealer in the tank, and we got that stuff all in there. What I did was I worked it around inside the tank as best I could. It is a silver color, and you can see it kind of moves like molasses. So what you want to do is you just move it around inside the tank till you coat the entire tank. And then once that's done, you want to make sure that you get the excess out of the tank. For me, that was the hardest part. On this particular tank, the only place that I have an opening is the bottom here, and it's a flat surface, so it's very hard to pour out of. And it's impossible to pour out of the top because the top has a bevel inside. So what I ended up doing was I went and grabbed a plunger. Basically, this is a plunger I use for bleeding hydraulic brakes or hydraulic clutches. And what I did was I just stuck that, stood the tank up on end, and let the product pool down to the bottom after everything else was coated, and then I used the plunger to basically suck up the excess and put it in the can. So worked really well, made it a lot easier, this is a cheap plunger, cost you a couple bucks. I know that Motion Pro makes them, and easily accessible item, and something that you might want to pick up before you do this project, especially in a tank like this. We'll let this dry now. I basically just want to let it dry room temperature, and it's going to seal everything up. If you have any rust damage or anything like that inside the tank, it's going to coat all that stuff up real nice. It will coat and basically fix any hole that is not bigger than the head of a pin. So, all those little gaps where gas or fuel can seep out are going to be all sealed up with this product. And it was fairly simple to do. The worst thing is you just have to be patient. You have to follow the directions. You have to take your time with it. But once you get it done and you do it properly, you'll have a seal that'll last for sure the lifetime of the tank. So, KBS tank sealer, one simple kit, 3-part process, 3 easy steps. Just follow directions, be patient, and it'll save you a lot of money in the long run and give you a good seal that'll keep your fuel from leaking out. So there you have it.